Welcome, YouTube. We are playing the Arena Direct Standard Best of One. Usually these events are only sealed, but this is an event where we can play some standard constructed Magic and win real boxes, which has my interest. It's something I've been asking for Wizards to do for a very long time, and I can only assume that they listened to me and me specifically, and they finally did it. So we're going to fire a few bullets into this. I don't think this is the right deck to play to maximize your winnings, but it is good, and it is like firmly in my wheelhouse. And this is the Kona Surprise deck. So some of you guys are probably familiar with the pre-ban, pre-rotation standard Omniscience deck. And this one had this was about cheating Omniscience into play with Abuelo's Awakening. So on turn 4, you could reanimate Omniscience from your graveyard, put it into play as a 1/1 on turn 4, and you could combo off with a loop of Morong River Regents and Roiling Dragonstorms, go through your whole deck and win the game. And then the bans came, and they banned Abuelo's Awakening. And so the only good reanimate spells to bring Omni back from the graveyard cost 5. So the point was to slow down that whole combo engine by a turn, and that kind of nuked the Omni deck. However, we also have access to Kona Rescue Beastie. And this card, if it's tapped in at the beginning of your main phase 2, you get to cheat something into play, and it costs 4. So once again, we have Omni cheated into play on turn 4, and you have basically the same set of combos from there. But you do need to enable a way for Kona to be tapped on the turn that you play it. And we have a few ways to do that. Notably, in the mana base, we got a few cool toys from Edge of Eternities. We got Adagia, Windswept Bastion, and Uthros, Titanic Godcore. These are mostly just flavor text, although Adagia's activated ability can eventually win you a game that has gone horribly wrong. But the important thing is they have Station. So for no extra cost in your deck, you don't have to play bad cards. You can tap Kona on the turn it comes into play. And then you cheat Omni and you go from there. We have Voice of Victory as a way to protect the combo, because in Best of One, this is the kind of cheesy deck that you can succeed with. Sariema is another cool toy from Edge of Eternities that lets you tap Kona the turn it comes into play, but it also finds Kona. So the turn 3 play of play the Sariema and find Kona, and turn 4 play Kona is surprisingly resilient. The other thing I've noticed when I've been practicing for this event is that a lot of decks are running Authority of the Consuls. So even if you don't have Sariema, even if you don't have any of the station lands, you don't necessarily need to attack with Kona, because your opponent might just tap it the turn it comes into play for you. So it's surprisingly resilient. The games that I've lost have mostly been to being on the draw with a slow mana base and just getting run over by red. So that could happen to us here, but I want to fire at least one bullet into this event. All right. So yeah, this, how did I find it? This is the sealed one. Can't click that one. Apparently it's also broken. Like the event is borked in some way, but under events, there is this one, Arena Direct Standard Play Booster Boxes. So this is Best of One Standard. Go until you either win 7 times or lose twice. If you win 6 times, you get a box. If you win 7 times, you get 2. And it costs 6,000 to enter, so I guess the break-even point is somewhere around 3.5 wins. It's a little expensive. I think the sealed one... Is this Phantom? It doesn't say it's Phantom. It's kind of crazy, right? Like if this isn't Phantom and you get all the colors, or you get all the cards for opening your sealed pool, and it still costs the same amount and the payout is the same, you kind of need a higher win rate in Standard to justify playing it. But I am not good enough at Limited to win, but I might be good enough at Standard to win, so that's what we're gonna do. 6,000 gems. And let's be on the play a bunch. Thank you, Ninjari. While I was waiting for Nerd Girl to finish up her Final Fantasy stream, I did fire 2 matches with Kona and lost both. So hopefully we just got those losses out of the way. Okay, so this is the part of the loop that wins the game eventually. We don't want to draw it early. We're on the draw, and we don't do anything at all in the early turns. So this is going to be a mull. This is also not great. Going to 5 seems so bad, though. We also have Consult. Like, if we're up against Control or something, then we have the time to deploy this. I'm going to keep. I'm going to put back one of these dragons. Having lands that come in untapped on turn 4 is so important. Alright, so it looks like we found VV. Yeah, we're up against VV on the draw, so we could just get run over. Luckily, opponent mulled to 6 and had to pitch a land off of FOMO. So it's not too bad. Dragonstorm's a good draw. I feel like I don't want this starting town basically ever. Can you get Delirium? They'll have land, sorcery in the graveyard. So lots of ways to get to Delirium, and they do. They pitch a VV and an Abrade. So an Abrade is something that can kill Kona, so kind of glad to see that go. Unfortunately, we still haven't drawn any interaction. I think I'm going to consult main phase here. Because I want to find a seam rip, basically. But I don't want to consult without first playing my land, because that'll let me dig deeper. But I also want to play Meticulous Archive to be mana efficient. I guess it doesn't really matter getting the Meticulous Archive down. No, didn't matter. But we did find Kona. So if we're somehow not dead next turn, we will be live to finding an Omni and trying to go off. But I don't like our chances here. Oh dear. This is like the Wombo combo, right? Because, oh shit. Yeah, so remember, FOMO with Delirium gives them 2 combat steps, and Profts triggers each combat step. Oh yeah, I think we're just totally dead here. So this is 6, and then they'll get another 4. So I think we are exactly dead. Not quite. We go to 1. So we can't play this breeding pool. And we didn't find Omni. It is perhaps possible to Cavern, Kona, Regent, Bounce, which I think is the only line that keeps us alive here. there anything hasty in the deck? I guess, like, stationing this up doesn't really help us at all. Are we actually dead on board? Not quite. They do need to have a spell here. And of course they do. Okay. Not a great start. Again, I think we played that game totally reasonably. We just kind of got run over. This is the problem with best of one, just in general. Like, I really dislike... That's just it. you just lose. You don't get a chance to sideboard. You don't get a chance to keep an opening hand knowing what your opponent has. You're just toast. So now we just need to win 6 straight. This standard feels worse with best of one. I don't know about that. At least when I was playing on ladder, the arena or the metagame felt more diverse. This hand seems pretty good. This is basically blue-white control. I mean, in best of 3, like the meta is like exactly just VV. There's like nothing else going on. Yeah, we're just playing some friendly blue-white control mirror. Maybe not. Cavern's nice. On the off chance that they are blue-white, I don't think I want to play Cavern into possible Demolition Field or Field of Ruin or whichever one is the legal one in the format. So... I guess that means we'll play Flood Farm Verge, and I'm going to play the Storm here and maybe pitch the Seam Rip. I guess it's possible that we're up against Jeskai artifacts here. Like Simulacrum synthesizer stuff. Is this any good against that? I guess now that I've drawn Adagio, I can get rid of one of these station lands. I think this is just a slightly better land. Yeah, let's just pitch this. It basically gives up the ghost. Like, now they know we're Kona, but they probably should have known that with Dragonstorm anyway. Yeah, okay, so this is the Simulacrum synthesizer deck. Hello, Voice of Victory, we like you. So that gives us the ability to protect our combo, but we don't have Kona yet. So exposing this to removal seems premature. I think I'm just going to play this and consult on their end step. As much as like I'd love to be able to kick this, all I'm really looking for is Kona. And I guess Omni. That counts. All right. Okay, so I guess here we will just name Beast. And I think it's just Sarayama Seam Rip. And we hit the bricks because we don't want them to be able to sack it to find a synthesizer. Also, this isn't doing much good in our hand anyway. All right. So this that's pretty good for them, right? They get to draw a card, then sack it, draw a card, and fetch their synthesizer. They choose not to do that, which is deeply suspicious, right? Because this is activate only as a sorcery. So they have, or at least they're representing, removal for the Kona. So I think this is the line. I think I'm going to just say go here. I'm not going to play Kona into No More Lies or a kill spell or whatever. I'm going to wait until I have 6 mana to play an uncounterable Voice of Victory off Cavern of Souls. You need to find another land to do that, but we're just going to cast this on their end step and see what happens. So this draws a card. They're going to go find Simulacrum Synthesizer. And then what? We're looking for untapped land and Omniscience off of this. Not quite. Upkeep stop, huh? It's a pretty good draw. So as long as we don't die here, like if we get to resolve a kicked Consult the Star Charts, I think we're off to the races next turn. We certainly could die. That's just possible. But we are at 20. So repurposing Bay, crack bricks, get another synthesizer. I don't think they have enough mana to get the haster. So I think we are going to get another turn here. Top, bottom. So it's time to go. I think that's going to do it. That is the line we were playing for. Oh, yes. And maybe now they scoop. I don't know what's holding priority here. Like, I mean, I know this is holding priority, but it makes me second guess myself when I don't know what they're waiting for, like why they haven't scooped yet. I don't know. I'm afeared. Let's play second Omni. There we go. Now I don't think much bad can happen to us. And now we can show the loop. Yep. Cool. Guaranteed their hand was like multiple removal spells. And just with some patience, we were able to kill them. All right, so far not great, actually. We are going to need to do better than winning 50% of our games. But so far, we were on the play once, and we won. And we were on the draw once, and we lost. And that is kind of best of one. That seems pretty good. Yeah, we'll play Portico first. I just want land, I think. That works. It's not a second blue source as far as kicked Consult goes. This is a Boros land. Sure. Okay, well, that's second blue. Don't need two of these guys. Next turn can be Flood Farm Verge, Seam Rip their Voice of Victory. So this is like a War Leaders thing, like a token ETB Pinger plus Imidane's Recruiter. So we can play Seam Rip Adagia and then try to play Kicked Consult later. Or we can try to untap land, Seam Rip Consult, try to rip, I don't know. Like the thing is, if we get Kona into play, and even if we find Omni off of this, then what? So I think we just start here. You wish you could make mono red better? You monster. Sunspine Lynx is like particularly good against the decks that I like playing. As you can see. I'm sure you can still play mono red in best of one. It's just like not the thing to be doing. What is going on here? Like some sort of raise the alarm, probably. Either way. Either way, I'm going to try to play Kicked Consult. I would be very surprised if they could kill us from 20 from here. It's not impossible. Wow. Killing the Dragonstorm and not the Seam Rip? Oh, okay. I guess that is what they meant to do. Yeah, I think it was a mistake. I think maybe our opponent is on like mobile or something and fat fingered the Dragonstorm. All right. Well, I mean, we are flooded to all hell. All right, well, I'm not playing Kona out into this. We'll just play Dragonstorm. Maybe I should start with voice to force whatever they're gonna do to happen. Yeah, that was probably better. Oh, that's interesting, right? Seam Rip and Voice of Victory here. So this allows us to jam Voice. They'll act. They'll probably get lost this Seam Rip, and then while they can't act on our turn because of Voice is in play, we get to Seam Rip it again. Oh, okay, or just that. Well, in that case, I guess we just do this. I don't think there's much in the format that interacts with this on our turn. No law that says we can't just jam the Regent next turn either. Get the Dragonstorm back, keep developing. I also would not have played this if we didn't have a second. Few options. We can Regent bounce, say go. That seems good. We get the Dragonstorm back to hand. We put a threat in play. Like, the Regent can eventually just kill them. And it stations the Adagio pretty well. The alternative is, like, being risky and going for Coil and Catch, trying to find the combo, but we don't have the mana for that. I suppose we can do that and have Seam Rip for this as a backup. Okay. It seems difficult to lose from this spot. And the longer the game goes, the more likely it is, especially when they're not playing blue, that we'll be able to just get the pieces that we need and play them. Sure. Okay, now they're essentially tapped out. Looks like they have a land. I don't know what this is then. Find me something good. Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice is actually not bad here. I don't see any reason not to just bring the dragon back, honestly. You're confused how the planet lands aren't legendary. That's a fair point. And yeah, sure, I guess. Are we getting, like, what was it? Pinnacle Star Cage thing? Temporary Lockdown, whatever the new one is. Thank you, Ice Prophet. I appreciate that. Alright, that is not an inspiring start to the turn for them. Plasma Bolt as a card in Standard. I would very much like to just end the game, but it does not look like that's going to happen this turn. So I guess let's start with stock up. And if they haven't done anything, well, there's Omni. We take that, and kind of in a similar spot, right? If I jam Voice of Victory and they have a way to kill the Seam Rip, then I want to be able to kill their Voice of Victory. But if I play the Voice of Victory on a turn where I'm not going for it, then that's not ideal either. Alright. But next turn, I think this is enough material to win for sure. So we just need to not die. Oh, okay. Well, okay, that changes things a little bit. I guess I will play Voice of Victory here. It's at least a blocker for whatever crap they pull. Alright, that just resolves. Sick. I'm just going to play this Breeding Pool tapped. I'm not cracking a map onto this, and we'll just say go. And if we untap, then the game will end. And it's hard to imagine a world in which we don't untap here. Opponent is playing, like, red-white control. Like, mono kill your VV control. Haven't you seen Battlestar Galactica, though? There are, like, tons of planets with the same name. Okay. Alright, opponent has finally decided to be kind and take the shields down, and we are just going to go off. No need to play Voice of Victory anymore. And yeah. Main phase 2. Here's Omniscience. Here's a dragon. I don't think I want anything else, actually. Actually, I can just play Sariyama, right? That works. And then I can get Zagana. And yeah. Comes in with 6 counters on it. Draw 7 cards. Seems good. They did say good game, so I'm going to say it back in the hopes that they scoop, because I'm not actually interested in playing all of this out. Still no Overlord. That didn't get killed on us, did it? Somehow? We didn't discard that? No? Okay. Yeah, Overlord plus 2 regions plus Omniscience is GG. It's kind of this is kind of the downside of playing it on Arena, because if you're playing in paper, you can just like tell them that and save the time. But on Arena, they like, well, you might miss, or you might be playing without a win condition, or you might be an idiot, like not know how your deck works. Like these are all possibilities when you're playing against a faceless opponent. All right, 2 and 1. So I think we've played twice on the play, once on the draw, and we won both games on the play and lost the game on the draw. And this is another one on the draw, so there's that. This is a hand that's on the draw. We have no early interaction. We do have a Lush Portico to find something if we find that we're in trouble. I think this is kind of like a mulligan with these 2 Seraimas in them. Yeah, maybe our average 6 is better than this. Okay. Sure. Keep this because it's the only tap mechanism we have. Jail keeps us alive. Omni, if we find Kona, is basically GG. I don't want to put any of these back. That's the problem. So we play Saraima on 3, we fetch Kona, play Kona on 4, tap it, get Omni in play, and have the dragon. That's just going to have to be good enough. Hopefully we just don't get run over in the meantime. On the draw against Vivi again is not a great place to be. Especially when they kept. That's terrifying too. Okay, so is it better to Roiling Dragonstorm or is it better to Voice of Victory? I think it is better to Roiling Dragonstorm, because if we can find our 4th land, then we are in pretty good shape, I think. And there is land number 4. What's giving me some pause is that they kept 2 mana open here, so a Braid is possible, which means that Voice of Victory might actually be important. But I think I'm going to pitch it, because I feel like I really want the rest of the cards in my hand. Just raw dogging Vivi here, maybe?
Ew.
Okay, so this is pretty good. They can discard 2. Mako's going to go up to 3. We take 3. There'll be a Vivi in the bin. No BV in the bin. They discard Mountain. That's pretty good news for us. We play this because we still haven't drawn another way to tap Kona, and this finds Kona. If they tap out, then we probably win. If they don't, we're going to have to think a little harder. But it's hard for them to not tap out here, because they really want to put pressure on us, and they don't play super well on our turn, because Vivi's ability only works on their turn. So I'm hoping they're caught between a rock and a hard place here. That looks like tapping out to me. I mean, they're going to play another land, but these decks aren't running Spell Pierce in my experience, so I think that we are probably good to go. We're certainly going to try, whether or not they represent Spell Pierce, because letting them untap after doing all of this fixing in their hand is practically scooping them up anyway. Spell Pierce is in Standard. but generally, especially in best of one, I haven't seen VV run it. A null doesn't work because Kona doesn't cast the Omni, it puts it into play. I have seen some best of 3 lists run a null on the sideboard. Instead, it's just cast Winter Night Stories, and they've tapped out, and they lose the game. I think this is deterministic to win from here. Don't need that anymore. I guess we can take another Saraima. And sure, why not a Roiling Dragonstorm? Saraima lets us go fetch. Is it correct that there's no game sound? I don't know. Nerd girl.
I usually have music on, that's why. Did you want to use Spotify? You can put game sound or music.
Yeah, I'm not listening to either, so I guess I'll put the game sound on a little bit. Are you guys able to hear this? Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out. I just don't want to time out here while I'm comboing off. Can't tell. Okay. We'll take a look at that after the game's over. Just gotta find that Overlord. I guess this draws literal 7 cards, so it's probably faster than playing the... There we go. And we have the loop. Bounce, bounce. Upstairs. There is some sound now. Phenomenal. All right. So we beat VV on the draw, which feels pretty good. Now, granted, their draw was very bad, but I'll take it. Okay. I guess I can be reasonably confident that Spotify will work. So I can just turn this off, and I'll just play Spotify, even though I can't hear it. All right, we are 3-1, so this is to get to even money. Right? Yeah, we bought in for 6,000 gems. 4 wins gets us 7,200 gems and 6 packs. So I think 3 wins is even money if you're, 3,600 gems plus 8 packs. No, I guess it's not. You need to get to 4. Okay. It's weird, but I actually do like this hand. I think I like this hand more on the draw than I do on the play, because Seam Rip is a lot better on the draw than on the play. And also, we have 1 extra draw step to find the 3rd land. This is just like a normal blue-white control hand. I like our chances. Let's keep it. Okay, well, now these double seam rips are probably dead, and we've drawn we've drawn Overlord, which is probably the worst card in the deck to draw. So, not great. We're up against the Jeskai Artifacts deck, but we are fighting. We're fighting with 3 hands tied behind our back. The Earthros is passable here. We need them to have a slow draw, but unfortunately I think they also kept 7. They haven't done anything, though, is the thing. Like, what do they have? Turn 3, they haven't played Bricks, they haven't played Synthesizer. It's not like they're playing around our counter magic either. So this could just, maybe just as like Jeskai control. Okay. Maybe it is. If we had known that, then we would not have kept that 7. Okay, Mysterized Villages here. I wonder if they counter another Roiling Dragonstorm. If we play Stalk up and they have a counter, I'm confident they counter it, is the problem. They showed they were willing to counter Dragonstorm before. Next turn is like Shiko territory. So they probably want to play their Consult the Star Charts here or something. I'm going to stock up. Okay, that resolves. Fantastic. And that gives us our land drop and Voice of Victory. Voice of Victory seems important. Can also get Sarayama, which is just a proxy for Kona. But this works for me. I think I actually do actively want lands in the control matchup. What did they pitch? They pitched a Get Lost? Yeah, this is definitely just Jeskai control here. There goes Helix. I think I am once again into, well, the best thing they had for 4 mana last turn was their own dragon. But they drew 3 cards, so that doesn't help us much. I'll play Tapland Seiko. Try to do this on their end step. This is like catnip for counterspells, and they didn't do anything. Like literal nothing. So counterspell seems to be pretty likely what they have in hand. I assume this gets countered, and I'm just going to be okay with that. Sure. Does this get countered too? No. Ooh, hello. Sarayama's here. If I jam it, then I think they probably have another No More Lies is the problem. But again, I don't want to give them 4. Like 4 mana is like exactly where they want to be. Usually they're ecstatic when we don't do anything that they have to counter. So we'll let this resolve. I mean, we'll cast this, and either they let it resolve, and that's great, we go find Kona, or they don't, and that's fine. because it means that they're not taking their turn to cast Consult the Star Charts or Coil and Catch, etc., etc. And next turn we have a threat, right? Next turn we have Voice of Victory, Kona, put Omni into play, Dragon with 2 Dragon Storms in play. So if they tap low, then we probably just win here. As it is, they just say go. I'm going to test the water. Does this resolve? And now that we've drawn second Kona, it's actually kind of fine to try to play Kona anyway. Instead, nothing. Nothing. So Kona's going to live. I guess there's like Trumpeting Carnosaur that blows us out here. Or like, does that crab, is that Mirror Shell crab still in standard? But it's going to have to be something on that level of weirdness. Huh. I'm just going to play this. All right, that is profit. We are up, what? 1,200 gems and 16 booster packs? Virtual booster packs? So that's good. 2 wins away from winning a box. When we started off just getting steamrolled by Vivi in game 1 on the draw, I did not have high hopes for this run, but it has gone well since. Karate Dum. Hey, Manatee. All right, we are on the draw with just like a classic blue-white control hand, and I think that's fine to keep, especially on the draw. Knowing, well, what are these sleeves? Is their opponent trying to tell us they're on Jeskai? I think this is a Simulacrum Synthesizer player. Doesn't matter, it's not going to change my keep, but these sleeves scream Simulacrum Synthesizer to me. Instead, no, it's mono red. That is fine. Yeah, I'm just going to kill that now. It means that we can't Dragonstorm next turn without some help. But I just want to slow them down as much as I can. But we did make the cardinal sin of being on the draw against mono red with only 1 piece of 1 mana removal. I'm going to Dragonstorm here. I think I don't want to have to put myself in a position where shocking this breeding pool, where I don't have the life to pay to shock this breeding pool next turn. I guess we have to play this Adagian now. I don't know that there's any outs left, unfortunately. Because we need to find at least Kona. Oh, wow. That's not also secretly a mouse, is it? How about 3 mana Goldspan Dragon? that any good? Yeah, there's kind of Kona. I think the out that we have here, to the extent that we have one, is to play Dragonstorm, find Seam Rip, Seam Rip. Nope. And we are good old dead on board. So that's the end of this run, unfortunately. But it was a profitable run. I think we got our legs under us. We can do this. We lost to Mono Red on the draw, and we lost to VV on the draw.
How many gems did you get?
We got 7,200 gems.
And the buy-in is
6. Yep.
Nice. So plus 12.
And just 16 booster packs as well.
Yeah.
So.
Kind of interesting. I would be curious to see how many gems you were net positive or negative, plus how many packs you earned at the end.
Yeah. We can definitely track that.
I'll get you a pen.
All right. Let's run it back. Again, I think this is not like the best deck to play, but I'm going to do it anyway because that was fun.
Plus 1,216.
Nice to have a good profitable run to begin with, especially when the run started so badly. Yikes. What a hand. Ugh, God. I'm going to keep any blue source, and I think we're in very good shape. All right, so we're up against Demir awkward draws. Yeah, this... Oh, wow, that stays on top. That's crazy. We drew Starting Town. The problem is that if I don't Seam Rip this, then we are possibly getting Kaido'd. I'm going to Seam Rip this. I feel like them attacking us next turn and getting Kaido in play, and then knowing that they're following up with Enduring Curiosity, I don't know that we're going to get our shit together fast enough to deal with that. Another reason, I think we could draw that. I'm going to cast it. Sure. And they just hard cast, not Raw Dog, the Enduring Curiosity.
Ew.
But that's great for us. So now we name Beast, and here's Kona. And here's a tapped Kona. And here's a free Omniscience. And here's a Roiling Dragonstorm. And here's Vanilla Ice. I think this is also deterministic from here. I guess it's not quite deterministic, is it? But I think we're in pretty good place. Yeah, and opponent agrees. Sick. 1-0. Up against Universe. On the play, hand's fine. Don't really want to see this in our opening hand basically ever, but too good to put back. That one's going to stay on top. I guess we play Starting Town here. Because if I draw one of the tapped station lands, then I want to play that next turn, and I don't want Starting Town to come in tapped because I had to do that. So these are our lands 3 and 4. Kona's too important. Overlord is... I guess Overlord eventually comes back with Vanilla Ice, so we could pitch it. I'm just going to pitch an Omni. It's a Cauldron. Oh, I guess that makes sense. They don't know that we're on the Kona version, not the Reanimate version. Cerium is a good curve filler. So I guess let's do that. And what do we fetch? We already have Kona. Honestly, like, Jill is not the worst. But Zagana, if we are able to get Kona into play, does just take over and win the game. So I'm going to take Zagana, because there is a pretty good chance they just tap out, we play Kona, and we win. No such luck. So we'll have to make a decision here. We can... if we play Kona and they kill it, we are in pretty rough shape. So I think I'm just going to consult. Like, the more time they spend doing nothing, the better off we're going to be, because their deck does not do super well on our turn. I guess a Braid is also particularly nasty, because they don't even necessarily have to kill Kona. They could also kill Sarayama, and we have no way to tap it. Cavern is whatever. But I guess we'll take it. And... I can take 2 Caverns. Take 2 Caverns, just jam Overlord. I'm gonna take a Meticulous Archive. I really do want to find, like, Voice of Victory or something like that. Wrong River Region's pretty good too. Sick. So as long as they don't kill us this turn, next turn we will have the Voice, and I don't anticipate losing from that spot. So the question is, can they kill us? And in theory, the answer is yes. In practice, given the way this game has gone, I don't think they have the material to do it. I don't think there's even... I guess there is a reason to play Morong River Region here, because if I play Voice of Victory and they like abrade my ship in response, then that's sad news. Yeah, I'm just gonna coil and catch here and see if they counter it. If they counter it, it makes my life a lot easier. This is naming... Oh, this is a starting town. Okay. So we actually have no green mana other than that cavern. I guess we do have the starting town, but I was thinking like... Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. All right, now that's good. So now this Ariema we know is going to live. Here's Kona. Tap Kona. Main phase 2. There's Omniscience. There's Omniscience the second. And we win. Sick. Two and oh. So 2 and 2 from here gets us to break even, but we have our sights set higher than that. I want a booster box. Okay, opponent has the Extra Life Ajani avatar, so we know they've been at it for a while. Good old Bant control hand. We are on the draw again. I think this hand's perfectly keepable. I think I'm going to pitch this voice. We need to find our combo pieces, and I think on average our opponent's draws will be more aggressive than the one that we just ran into. So FOMO Pitch Mountain, that gives us a decent window, I think, to play Seam Rip Tapland. And then next turn could be Jill. The other option is Untap Land Dragonstorm, but that doesn't seem as appealing to me. Unfortunately, Zagana, you're going to have to go. Zagana. FOMO the second. Pitching land again. One mana open, and we drew the station land. That's pretty good. All right, I'm going to lead with Dragonstorm with the full intention of playing this Adagia tapped, but if I draw like land Seam Rip, that would change the line. I'll pitch this starting town, I suppose. So their hand has been kind of lackluster so far. That doesn't mean we can't lose from this spot. Like, this VV deck is just so damn explosive. But, I mean, even in the event that they somehow get Delirium here, and, you know what, they'd swing us for 4, we can always play Jill and bounce FOMO. We can also just play Kona and then cheat in Dragon, bounce FOMO, and that's pretty damn good too. Especially with second Kona in hand. They pitch a Cauldron and a Torch to tower too, so no VV yet, but that does give them Delirium. They're going to swing at us for 4 here. We go to 16. If we draw Omni, I think the game ends. We don't. Even still, get to play Kona here. And tap it. And now, what do we put into play? I think it's the Dragon. Yeah, it's just the Dragon. Comes in untapped, keeps us alive as a blocker. Yep, that works for me. We could station. I don't think they have any haste. This can, at the margins, matter. Sure. Kill Kona, but unfortunately for them, we just have another one. But we do not have Omniscience. I'm gonna bounce FOMO again. I guess I leave this back in case they have Tursa, right? They do have haste in the deck. We've just dodged it every game we've played against VV so far. Alright, so they play their own dragon, bouncing mine. It's like actively helpful for us though. I'd love to find Omniscience. There's just no way to actually do that this turn. What does this do when I flip it? Nothing. Nothing important. Yeah, not being able to find that last piece has allowed them to like claw their way back into this game a little bit. There's still no VV in the graveyard though. Well, that could be about to change. This could be a nasty turn for them. Nope, still no Vivi in the graveyard, which is kind of astonishing. They're tapped out. Jesus. We just dig as deep as we can for Omni, right? Sarayama can find Vanilla Ice. It's just not good enough. Yeah, so here's, I guess, stock up. Anyway, here's Wonderwall. Still no Omniscience. So this is what digs the deepest, right? We just play Archive here and then Consult. Oh my god. Just can't find it. How many cards have we gone through here? What are we even putting in play off of this Kona? I guess it's like Dragonstorm? I think we're... Oh no, it's Seam Rip to kill this FOMO. As disgusting as that is. Just, I hate it so much. Yeah, I think they finally found the Vivi to put it in the bin. There's Cauldron, sure. Cauldron, exile Vivi, put a counter on Mako. Okay. There's a lot of mana, but it's going to be tough for them to actually kill us. It's not for a lack of trying if we lose this. Yeah, no kidding. Oh my god. Okay. So we have 7 mana here. We can Sarayama, Kona, Regent. probably better to just Regent. Bounce FOMO and I suppose Cauldron? Mako? I don't know, man. Oh, this costs one more than I thought it did. I thought I was going to be able to copy the seam rep. I think we're dead. Yeah, I there's probably a better line than that one, but like, the truth is that we went through. This is like what 10 cards from the bottom of our current line. We went through 40 cards and didn't find Omni. I think we're just dead on board now. Yeah, that's just so much. I mean, we have a chumper, so like if they screw this up and somehow don't put enough counters on the Regent, then we can maybe win. Ah, fucked up deck this is. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that'll do it too. That is more than good enough. But yeah. I mean, their draw wasn't actually that great either. It took them a long time to find their combo piece too. Back against the wall. That's a sad game. On the draw with a hand that doesn't do things. So I'm going to ship this. This is significantly better. Keep this. Something like this. I think I like this. Okay, okay. Llanowar Elves straight into our Seam Rip, Wood Chipper. That's what I'm saying about this card being a lot better on the draw than on the play. Because like when you're on the play, you never want to play this turn one, right? It's just so nice to be able to put this down on your first turn. But no rest for us. They have Chocobo plus fetch land. No untapped land, though, so if we get a chance to kill it, unfortunately we don't. And now I think we are priced into shocking in this breeding pool to cast this Dragonstorm. Yeah, I think we're just letting this Voice of Victory go here. Next turn is more than likely going to be Sariema go, but like if they have Bill plus, it's also pretty threatening if they have Bill plus fetch land. I mean, there is a world where we just can't play the untapped land next turn. But I don't think there's a better line than this. No Beseju in the format is nice for us. So, okay, Traveling Chocobo is scary, but it's not lethal. So I think if we just find an untapped land here, then we're good to go. But if we don't find untapped land, we lose. Like, that is pretty much the situation we're in. But we do, because we're very good at this game. Here's Kona. Uncounterable Kona, no less. I don't think there's any 1-mana disenchant in the format in green. So I'm just going to play Regent. I'm going to play Regent first anyway, though. Okay, so they just play Snakeskin Veil. That's fine. Now I don't need to worry about anything. Bounce my Sariema actually is gas, and I'll bounce your Chocobo. And here's Sariema. Go find me Zagana. Here's Zagana. Draw 7 cards. Grizzlebrand, eat your heart out. And we got there. Cool. 3 and 1. So not quite break even on this one, but we have a chance to get there now. This deck looks sweet. Yeah, I like this deck a lot. I mean, it's kind of like the Omniscience deck from the last format, but wearing a different hat. But everyone likes the hat, right? Like, Kona just makes it look so much cooler than when you were just reanimate Omniscience from the graveyard before. I mean, this has the combo, right? And we're on the play. Sure. Meticulous Archive. So even the Voice of Victory in our hand is live. Am I just jamming it? If it dies, I'm a little sad, right? Could jam it next turn. Because if this is the Simulacrum Synthesizer deck, which Starting Town suggests to me that it probably is, then their turn 3 killing Voice of Victory is a lot more valuable to them than the turn 2. So I think we just sit on it. That means I'm just going to play the Breeding Pool tapped. I'm a little sad if I draw exactly stock up next turn. But we didn't. This could, I guess, be... Jeskai Control wouldn't run Starting Town, right? Here's a Voice of Victory. You figure it out. Okay, so they show us no more lies. It seems likely then that it's Jeskai Control. And they just play a land and say go once again. So we have the option here to go for the combo. I don't want to. in the face of No More Lies. I think given that we have this Regent that we can cast on their end step to develop further, I just want to keep like putting the pressure on, putting the pressure on, putting the pressure on until all of a sudden they don't have the material to deal with our end step threat plus our turn threat. But if we cast Kona into a No More Lies there, all of a sudden we're so far behind what we should be. I think I just do it again? What's the other option? We can play Vanilla Ice. It doesn't necessarily get us anything good back. We can play Roiling Dragonstorm. I think just casting Coil and Catch on their end step develops better. Also, this like tap land lets us get one step closer to a Voice of Victory that does effectively win the game. That's great. We'll keep that on top. That's fine. You see our opponent's just not doing anything, right? Like, we're making them waste every single turn because they're too scared to tap out for our combo turn. I think we just keep doing it, right? Maybe now is the time for Dragonstorm, actually. I'm going to try that. Because if we draw untap land, then no harm, no foul. We still get to cast the Regent. But we also... like, we found Voice of Victory, so now we have this in hand next turn to force through our action. I think I'm going to need 2 Lush Porticos. I'm going to Shock and Breeding Pool. It just keeps letting us put them under a ton of pressure on their own end step. Okay. Is there any way to increase the pressure further? I don't think there is. I think it's time to jam Voice of Victory and see if they have a satisfactory answer. They have 3 steps ahead. 3 steps ahead with no, like, not paying for any further mode means that I think we're just going to keep in this pattern. I think we have 1 more voice that we're drawing to. Also, the Vanilla Ice next turn could get it back. I also have multiple Konas now, too. So if we get to 8 mana, then, like, that's kind of the same as if we find a... Voice of Victory. Also, with 3 Dragonstorms in play, just, like, landing a dragon by itself is a huge threat. Like, forget the Kona Omniplan, just, like, putting the 6/7 in play is huge. So we have Voice of Victory again. This is our last one. I don't think I'm going for it this turn. They've shown that they just have nothing they can profitably do. Huh. That's pretty good too. That's outstanding, actually. That just wins the game. Like, next turn, we Cavern of Souls name human. And there's no way they can interact with our game plan anymore. They want to counter it so bad. Yeah, we'll take that Cavern, of course. Cavern of Souls, naming human. Here's Voice of Victory. Wow, that's actually... Well, that actually does work better than I thought it does. It still doesn't work, but it works better than I thought it did. I guess I actually don't need to replay this now, but whatever. That will do it. This will get us Sagana. This will draw 7 cards. And now I just need to keep track of what is in front of me. Just need to find that Overlord. I guess I'll play this other Regent because I don't want to accidentally deck myself by looping with Sagana too late. Still can't find it. 11 cards left. It's in there somewhere, I promise. Actually, I think Consult the Star Charts, like, basically guaranteed finds it. Upstairs. And we have established the loop. An opponent agrees. So another profitable run. 4-1 again. Two wins away from a box. We're probably roughly like 25% to get one at this point in this run. I think like the deeper you go into your run, the better the opponents you face are. So even if you have an advantage of being like, even if your win rate is like 65% in games 1 and 2 of the run, like your win rate in game 6 and 7 is probably going to be pretty close to 50. So I think 25% is about right. Hand is pretty gas. Yeah, keep. Thundering Falls top. So Thundering Falls is like not really a VV card, right? I don't think they're playing the Surveil lands. So this is probably Jeskai control, which makes me a little concerned about just jamming Voice of Victory here. Particularly because even if we get Kona here, we don't have anything to do with it yet. But I'm going to do it anyway. Because in the worst case, they they abrade it on their turn, and that means they're tapped out for us to jam this, which means we at least get Kona into hand. And shows what I know. So here's Thundering Falls. They are playing FOMO. This is VV. So things are a little bit different than we thought. Suppose we can just jam Jill. That's phrasing. I don't know that we should be jamming Jill, but we'll wait on that. No, I'm confident that jellying Jill is worse. All right, full speed ahead for the opponent with Steam Core Scholar here. That could get them to Delirium. All right, so buttons. We have choices here, right? I think the choice I like best, well, I don't know. So, like, we can play Sariyama and then, like, just go grab Zagana and then next turn try to Kona. They discarded a Quantum Riddler, which is absurd. I think we just need to keep them off the board, and that means just get the dragon into play. I guess I want to... like, getting this to 5, or getting this to 7 actually helps protect the Kona, so... Yeah, that's a cool line, actually. I didn't see that, but that works, because now we can bounce both their things, and we can crew here. And so now they need a way to remove Sariyama and Kona. And also, we're just threatening to dome them for what? This is 6, 10, 15, 18. There's something really tempting about playing Sariyama to find Zagana here. But we wouldn't be able to... Like, we'd be able to cheat Zagana into play. We'd draw 7, but we can't win this turn. I think what I actually like here, which seems crazy, is play Jill. Bounce my own dragon. And just do this. And, like, now what? Now we have lethal on board. I'm not going to say that there's no way for them to get out of this, but this, like... They have a narrow road to tread. I don't think there's a VV in the bin, is there? Oh, there is. Okay. So that Riddler's not going to be around at the end of the turn. We need to play... what? I was going to say, like, Steam Core Scholar into Profts. Oh, man. So now they have... that was effectively free, right? More than free. They have 6 mana. Down to 4. That was a convincing turn. All right. Guess we need to dig. Seam Rip is not awful. Kills the Cauldron, which I think is pretty big game. I think no attacks. I attack for 6. Oh, no, definitely not all attack. If this pitches Vivi and they have a Cauldron in hand, then this is pretty rough. Does that give him Delirium? No. They did pitch the Vivi. Do you also have the Cauldron? Oh, it does give him Delirium too. Jesus. I suppose Into the Floodmaw also works, bouncing the Seam Rip. Tough game. Oh dear. How many cards have they drawn this turn? 4? 4, yeah. This is like 3 combat phases. Maybe I was supposed to just take 8 there. If I double block this, it's like the same as if I chump twice, except it lets me get blown out. I think killing the Mako might actually matter. If they have like 2 damage removal for Jill, then we do lose here. But there's only like so much we can do against triple combat step where your opponent's creatures double in power every time. Okay. I guess let's see what we dig up with this. I don't know that there's much we can do. If we had 1 more mana, we could Vanilla Ice. Try to stay alive. But I guess it's just this. Oh no, do you have Floodmaw? You do. Okay, well, that sucks. That deck is just so messed up. But that's another profitable run, so despite not having won a box yet, we are up 2,400 gems and 32 booster packs. And I'm gonna run and use the washroom, I guess, before we start the next one. All right, we are back. Time for another run. Fire one more with this deck, I think. It's gone well. We've made profit. I think, so we've lost 4 times, and, we've lost 4 games, and 3 of them were to VV with kind of preposterous draws on both ends. It's been fun, though. I think I've definitely had a great time doing this. I think this deck is a blast. I think we've navigated some pretty. I think we've navigated some pretty interesting games of Magic, including the ones against Vivi, except the first one against Vivi, which was just kind of. That one was kind of a disaster. But yeah, we are 8-4. We've won 2/3 of our games. It's hard to complain too much. That's not going to stop me, but it is hard. I wonder if the sealed version of this is still firing. Or if it's firing again. I know they were having tech issues with it. Okay, on the draw, decent opening hand. Would love if this was omniscient. If this omniscience here was literally anything else, but it can be with Dragonstorm. So we will keep. I don't think we have yet seen Island go. I think we're letting go of Vanilla Ice here as well. The only thing that's missing right now is a way to tap Kona. Okay, Cryogen Relic, so it's the Simulacrum Synthesizer deck. We'll go ahead and jam Dragonstorm. Do love Limited. That is, you're in the right place at the wrong time. Nerd Girl is much more of a limited player than I am. Well, that's kind of cool. So we have Jill that we can use to just bounce the repurposing bay. It slows them down a lot. Or we can just say, hey, I don't think you can kill me next turn. And if we stock up and find something that's good enough, we can kill you. And I think that's more appealing to me. Yikes. Okay. That's not a very good stock up. Yikes. Okay. Okay. I mean, that changes things considerably. So I think this makes the line Jill, bounce, synthesizer, play Adagia tapped. I think that's the line that makes us least likely to die next turn, and then next turn we can try to go off from there. And I guess we don't station with Jill just because in like the weird situation where they are able to get some hasty artifacts, it might be enough to have Jill block one of them and to stay alive. Okay, so United Battlefront, Coco for permanents, for non-creature permanents, and they find a synthesizer, scry bottom bottom, and nothing else. They have Lance. They can use the Iron Crag to crack the relic, get another synthesizer that'll make some dudes. But we're gonna get to untap here and try to combo off. Actually, I think that we're like 99.8% to win because Sarayama represents a Sagana, which draws. It'll draw what? 5 cards? Okay, well, stock up makes it even better. Oh no, actually, it'll draw 6 cards. Just have to make sure we play the right land and name the right thing. Cool. So here's Overlord, upstairs. I guess I'll Sarayama first because it makes it more like, because Zagana won't be in the deck and I don't want to hit Zagana off stock up. But I don't think the sequencing matters very much at all now. Yeah. Sick. Another win. So I think that makes us 1-0 in this run. Great. Keep going. Not a fan of this being on the draw business, especially with the not having early interaction business, but if the opponent's deck is slow, then this hand is extremely good. Well, extremely good as a push, but it's good enough for me to keep it. We maybe regret this. How many attempts so far? This is attempt number 3. We have made profit in all of them, but no boxes yet. Most of our losses have come to VV. So that's a thing. I'm definitely going to fire off one of these star charts, but Draconautics Engineer, huh? That's one we haven't seen yet today. I think the seam rip is important. I want to get this breeding pool down. I'm tired of taking damage off of it. And yeah, I guess I'm just going to seam rip here. I actually don't know which is the better one to exile, but I'm going to exile the Engineer. Yeah, this is attempt number 3. Currently 1-0. And we're leaning on this consult to find Kona, basically. And if we do find Kona, then life is good. Cauldron with nothing in the bin is nice to see. That's Kona. So, like, Floodmaw exactly hurts and makes a lot of sense. But that's not a situation that's going to improve. So we just do it. And then, you know, Floodmaw is only a temporary solution, so we get to try it again next turn. Do you have another? Maybe. We'll see. Still no VV in the bin. Kill spell makes some sense. But again, I think a kill spell is just something that we're not going to realistically be able to beat. So this is not a situation like the one against Just Guy Control where we can sit back and just keep developing, because they do have a clock on us. And it's not going to be hard for them to keep up a kill spell for the rest of the game if they have it. So either they have it right now or they don't. Yeah, like, I think a lot of people do. I think thank you for the support, Fat Ass Wolf 92. I think you're right. I think people do talk themselves into holding back their winning plays when they think that they might get countered or your opponent might have removal, even though that situation won't improve, and they lose games that they should win because of that. Like, we had no other realistic option here. Yeah, we might feel better if we're like, oh yeah, I know you have removal, so I'm not going to let you hit my Kona. But what are we going to do? We're going to play stock up and die? Is that better? Also, there's a chance that they don't have removal, but they have Into the Floodmaw, and we somehow don't die next turn. That's possible, at least. I don't know what's going on with my opponent here. Are we just getting salt roped, or is this... Are we getting, like, rude roped, like where they know they win? Whatever. Here's stock up. Yeah. So if they had interaction, they certainly would have used it by now. No need to get the Voice of Victory anymore. Cast this. Find me Zagana. I guess I'll stock up in case we find... Well, that's kind of a blank. In case we find something that makes Zagana even bigger. But we don't, so Zagana only draws 5. Alas. And now we can play Jill and bounce Zagana and replay Zagana. And that is going to be good enough to win. Go upstairs. Here's Regent. Bounce here and here. I guess I should have bounced Jill. Oh well. Do I have enough cards? Okay, yeah. I'm just paranoid that I will deck by playing Zagana. All we need is another dragon. Have not found it yet. 18. There it is. And so if you're just tuning in and haven't seen this yet, this is the loop that we're going for. Like 2 Regents plus Omniscience plus Overlord is infinite damage. As long as you don't have Carpal Tunnel.
So I can't play it.
Yep, so no nerd girls allowed.
When I played the Lotus Field, it hurt.
Like existentially, Lotus Field hurt you, or physically?
Both.
Oh, okay. All right, I think that's... I forget, actually. Is it 2-1 or 2-0? 2-0. Let's keep it going. Thanks, Wolfpack. This hand needs Dragonstorm to do an awful lot for it. But I don't think I'm in the business of pitching a hand that has Dragonstorm Omnicona. This person maybe knows me? That's kind of funny. All right, Profts, sure. What's the biggest counter to this deck? I mean, generally, if you're playing against big, dumb combo deck, the answer is tempo. Like, Dimir would be really, really good. I think Vivi is really good, although that's just because Vivi's super strong. We have a choice here. Like, Control is probably your best matchup, because you just sit there until eventually you force their hand. I'm just trying to decide whether I seam rip this memory or not. Next turn, if they have, like, Mako... Yeah, you know what? Actually, Okay, sure. Maybe that's wrong, but that seems like a good piece for us as well. Now we know the Kona is going to come down, although it won't be able to tap right away. I was hoping that this would slow them down. It turns out to have not done that at all. See if we draw another seam rip. Nope, but I know I don't want that starting town. Yeah, I think playing that seam rip was a pretty big mistake in retrospect. Oh my god. But it might not have mattered. Holy shit. I don't know what we even need to draw here. I think the best option here is just hope that they can't kill us. And try to, like, consult on end step. That is not quite good enough. Oh, yeah, it's definitely good enough. Yeah, that kills. That's fucked up. Like, that's 5 extra points on the Mako. Just swings for 11. All right, 2-1. Another loss to Vivi. I think we're, like, close to 50-50 against Vivi so far. And, like, very positive against everything else. I wonder if maybe Grand Abolisher is better than Voice of Victory. Because it turns off the ability for the opponent to activate Cauldron, but activating Cauldron on my turn isn't such a huge deal. Anyway, we have to have some faith in the deck here, but we do have Tapper into Kona. Yeah, I think we let that one go. Hopefully they play something worth seam ripping here. That counts to me. Yeah, I think just keep him off the board. We're on the draw again, which does stink. And now we actually, do we play the Portico or do we play the Adagia? I think given that we want turn 3 and 4 to be tap-out turns, we play the Adagia because... Well, no, actually, that was dumb. No, we absolutely should not have done that. We should have played the Portico instead because this represents the tapping that we need. Now that we haven't done that, though, I guess we don't need to play this. So we can play Dragonstorm now, and if we find, like, Omni... Let me start with Portico. I can go to the bin. And we'll Dragonstorm here. I think we're in serious danger, though. Yeah, this has not gone well. Fucking messed up deck. Take 8, huh? I guess, like, consult for... Like, playing Kona and then cheating this into play is not enticing. We're, like, forced to chump with Kona, and we're in a worse spot next turn than we were to begin with. So I guess we're just digging for another seam rip. How about the... Like, is that the 4th Sariyama? Nope. Okay, well, that's the end of that run. As well as it started, like, what is our win rate against Vivi? It's not good. So that's just negative 6,000 gems, so wipes out all the profit. Wonder if there's anything we can do to improve the Vivi matchup.
Right, even or actually down?
It depends on how much you value 32 booster packs, but yeah, down.
How much down?
So 2,400 minus 6,000 is 3,600. So 3,600 gems down, 32 packs up.
36. I thought you were up 24.
And I lost a run.
It's 6 grand.
Yeah.
Never mind. I thought it was 3.
Yeah, maybe. Feels like there's just, like, when the Vivi deck has its draw, there's just so little you can do. Yeah, try it again. Can't think of anything I want to change. Like, you could put anti-graveyard cards in. You could put, like, your Rest in Pieces and, well, your Soul Guide Lanterns or whatever you have in Standard. But in Best of One, those are just so bad if you draw them in the wrong matchup, and they don't solve your problem even in the matchups where they're designed to be good all the time. So I don't want to warp the deck too much around that. I think this is a good opening hand. We'll start here. I think I'd really like to play Dragonstorm on 2, so I'm actually going to play Breeding Pool. No, I guess I'm willing to shock in Breeding Pool if I need to. Forest, so, okay. Llanowar Elves, so we're probably up against the Tifa deck. I think that means we just go as fast as we can, because we can't kill that elf. Found, that's a spicy meatball. We currently don't have a way to tap Kona, but if we find it, then we are in pretty good shape. Oh, we do have a way to tap Kona. What am I saying? We have the Adagia. So that's fine. So this is like the Teamer Battle Crier deck? Or is this like Gruul Landfall Splash Blue? Or it could be Smuggler's Surprise. A bunch of things it could be. Okay, it is Battle Crier. You get frisky with the elf. we putting into play here? You have combat on your turn, trample, haste, sure, whatever. We win. That's pretty nice. I do love this deck very much. This makes me happy. Just need to find another dragon. There it is. Great. And now we have assembled Tron. Okay. 1-0. All right, that is a putrid hand. Yep, not keeping that one. Sure, I guess. Let go of Vanilla Ice. Looking for lands, and basically lands only. Meticulous Archive. I think I am keeping this one on top. Don't know exactly what we're up against, but if it is a control deck, then this is one of the best cards we could possibly have. And Meticulous Archive makes me lean that way at least. Nope, it's Simulacrum. That's a reasonable draw. See what they do. Voice of Victory makes me think that they want to act on their turn, so they're likely to tap out, and that suits me just fine. We don't do a whole lot of acting on their turn. Oh, shit. Okay, so this is just straight up the mirror, then. All right. One untapped land, please. Because if not, then I think we're in for some hurt. I think we are 50-50 to win. I think if we draw an untapped land, we win. Well, actually, probably worse than that. I think we either draw an untapped land and we win, or we don't and we lose, and I think that's it. And most of the lands in our deck come in tapped. Yeah, I think we are in really bad shape. You never know, but I think we're in pretty bad shape. Oh, wow. Okay, and they fetch Zagana as well. So that makes things even worse. Okay. Guess you got me. Is that a tap land? No, we had a tap land in our hand already. We needed to find an untapped land. And of course it was the second card, not the first. Yep. If it's Omni, then we lose. I'm just going to scoop it up. Instead, no, it's Morong River Regent. And we have not only life, but probably the win. Wow, from the jaws of defeat. What is that Sephiroth emote? I don't know what he's doing, but I'm happy for him. Or I'm sorry that happened. Yeah, here's Kona. You know how this deck works, right, opponent? This is what you cheat into play. Get out of here. And now we are deterministically winning because 2 Regents and Zagana draws the deck, which means we'll find the piece that we need. But I guess we'll just try to find it the good old-fashioned way because we have so many card draw spells, and there we go. Gotta say, I thought we were I thought we were pretty cooked. Instead, we are 2-0. That's how the last run started too, though. We're up against our clone. This is actually a lot closer than it looks. But I still think it's a mull. On the draw, you might talk me into keeping this. Can I interest you in the same hand but worse? Alright. I don't love it. Love the what if we make it worse mulligan. Oh, that's a good draw. Give me that breeding pool. Still an untapped land short. All right. Untap land to probably win the game. Music is a vibe. This is Nerd Girl's playlist. Actually, I think it's just straight up the Arcane playlist. Oh, not anymore. That ended. I looked over and I saw the Arcane playlist playing, but the artist was like someone featuring Cheryl something, and I was like, Cheryl Crow, what the hell? All right, so we did whiff on the land that we needed. I think that goes in the bin. Yeah, I think so. And I think we do actually seam rip this these bricks, because if they have the repurposing bay, those bricks turn into a synthesizer one day. Oh dear. That said, I think it is impossible for them to kill us from there. And now we are going to get Kona and Omni in play. Yeah, I think we just win. Right? Yeah. So here's Kona. Here's tapping Kona. Here's main phase 2. Here's Omniscience. Here's Sarayama. Here's Zugana. I guess I'll play the Scryland first, or Surveil Land first. We have Omniscience, yes, but what about Omnipotence? I think we're about to find Omnipotence. Okay, yeah, so that deterministically wins the game. Right? Right. I guess it doesn't really matter. So we have the Sagana loop, and this is what draws the deck. Just make sure we don't deck ourselves. Still have not found it. We have 19 cards in library. Drawing 7 at a time. What stops me from deck death? Just getting as low as I can, and then, you know, stock up doesn't draw cards. The consult the star charts doesn't draw cards. So we're fine. In fact, yeah, this sees the whole deck, basically. Yeah. Actually, I guess I start with this. No, not that. I think actually we have multiple stock ups, so this just works. Even in the event that this is the bottom card. But it's not. Upstairs. Casual hand size of 34. 3-0. So we're not leaving with nothing this time. What did I get that card reward for? Some random uncommon.
It's for daily wins.
I thought I had met my daily wins by then, but okay, I guess I still had.
It goes to 15 wins.
It's kind of annoying that Omniscience is broken right now so that you can't cast spells regularly. I thought that was an upgrade. Is it the case that if you hold full control, you can pay? Like, hold full control, tap your mana, and then cast your spell like that? Maybe it's not. I'm not sure. Maybe it is busted. Okay. This seems good. We like this. We're on the play. annoying because you have Doppelgang in yours. Yeah, but like, how often are you doppelganging? Like, how often is it necessary for you to doppelgang after you have the Omni in play? All we need is land number 4 here, by the way. Oh wow, that's funny. We don't even need to play this Ariema here. Because Authority taps our Kona for free. That's land number 4. I think I'm just pitching Seam Rip. Oh, is this like mono white control? No, this is life gain. Okay. I think you're pretty toast, opponent. Unakona Omni, so you need to untap again. I respect it. Arcona is going to be so tapped, they're not going to know what hit it. Great. Gain your life. Enjoy. Turn 4 wins are insane. Yeah, welcome to Standard in 2025. Yeah, this feels pretty good. Sephiroth, that's exactly what I said during the deck tech. Just like, oh yeah. Now you can only cheat Omni into play from the graveyard for 5 mana. But what if we cheated into play from our hand? Yeah? Anyway, this is the well-established loop by now. This gets our deck, we find Overlord, and we win. It's just they're going to gain 2 life every time. So it's actually going to take a good chunk of time. So they gain 2, lose 4 every time we play Overlord. Right? Actually, they gain 4, lose 4 for every time through this cycle. So I do actually need, finally... Because the dragon plus the Overlord is two triggers. So I guess the fastest way to do this is actually to just dig for another Seam Rip. There it is. That'll go faster. All right, 4-0. We're in Profit Town. Two wins away from a box of Edge of Eternity's Play Boosters. Selling or keeping? I don't know. Probably selling. I generally don't open much sealed product. This hand is pretty sick.
Or giving away on the next party stream.
Or giving away on the next party stream. These are all possibilities. You guys can't see it, but Nerd Girl definitely isn't off camera with a gun pointed right at my head. 100%. No, she's just there encouraging me. Anyway, we're gonna keep this.
We have a Ko-fi goal for another one of our party streams. So if you win a box, we get to give it away then.
Great.
Whee!
Yeah.
We also have a box of Final Fantasy that's still in the queue.
I think I'm just jamming this.
I think. I don't remember.
By the way, don't just auto, like out of habit, tap your Voice of Victory here. Because your opponents are sometimes running that artifact that comes in and deals 5 to a tapped creature. So just leaving it untapped is the safest thing to do in this meta, because you're going to run into that deck like 10% of the time at least. All right, so Deep Cavern Bat took Seam Rip, which is probably the only reasonable thing to do. We do need to find land number 4. Take my own advice and not tap this Voice of Victory. Well, yeah, whatever. We're not going to... excuse me. We're not going to win this game through damage. I don't think there's much in black. This is like a weird draw from Dimir. I guess they attack here and put a Kaido into play, but if they do that, they give me the Seam Rip back. They have to tap out. They surveil a... what's it called? They surveil a Spell Pierce to the bin. Okay, well, this sucks. Yeah, I think there's a world where we can eventually maybe kill this Kaido. And I guess we just play this for, like, deck thinning. Yeah, and I guess I take second Kona, because we know they have Bat. If they have Bat, then if we draw untapped land, we're still okay, because we can Seam Rip the Bat and then play the Kona anyway. This was face up. Like the two Konas. Okay. A little bit awkward for sure. I think we hold this back rather than crew because it makes them pay the whole 4 mana to put the Kaido in play if they want to do that. Like as opposed to if they have land here, then they could attack with Drown or cheat in Kaido and play Bat. You got a bless you from chat.
Thank you.
Don't be nice to her. That gun is still there. Just like polishing it as we speak. It's a gun pointed with love? No, I don't think so.
I'm not doing anything. I'm reading a book.
Wow, okay. Stock up was a hell of a draw. We know that Spell Pierce is possible. No, it's not possible. We have Voice of Victory in play. Sick. So, yeah, let's just hit stock up and see if we can find an Omni, and we do, and life is fantastic. I guess. Guinevere's not a huge fan. I think Jill is deterministically winning from here. As long as I make sure Cone is tapped. Sure, we'll kill Kaido. Don't attack with Voice of Victory, although I don't suppose that matters much either. Yeah, and this ought to deterministically win the game. I think. Yeah. 5-0. 2 chances to win a box here. So at the moment, we have won, in this run, 10,800 gems and 24 packs. And if we win, we lose all that and we get a box. That still seems worth it, but that's a lot of gems. That's like $50 worth of gems.
It's 10,000 positive?
Yeah.
That's 50.
Not 10,000 positive. It's 4,000 positive, but yeah.
This is a hell of a way to complete a set.
No kidding.
If you're consistently getting three or 4 wins or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I've been jealous of when watching good limited players farm the arena directs that are sealed, because they just like clean up.
You should make like 10, 20k gems, couple boxes.
Yeah. Good farming strat was to do 4 or 5 wins, resign, and then repeat until you decide you want a box. No, that's insane. it's so hard to get anywhere near winning the box. Like, even if you have like a 70% win rate, go and do the math, knowing that your win rate decays every time you move up in the win track. No, just win the damn box.
Yeah, because you could sell the box for more gems than what you make for the gems.
That too.
Yeah, you just sell the box cheap at $100 and you put that on arena, it's more gems.
I think I'm keeping this hand, which is bonkers.
If you sell a box for $100, that's 20,000 gems. Net positive 14.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah. Oh, man. I'm going to throw this away. Okay. This hand's good. Keep, and I guess we actually don't need the Siriema. We can't cast it anyway, so maybe that's what goes back. Because Uthros taps Kona. Jill keeps us alive. Sure, I buy it. And we found Omni as well. All right, all right, all right, all right. No Pride Mate. Just double Hawk. We get to bounce something with Jill. So if they play like Linden or something here, we get to bounce that next turn. This feels pretty good. I'm just trying to think. Like, this decision about which land to play might actually matter. I think I'm very likely to have to shock it in anyway. And this also, like, sorely tempts them to replay the Innocence. Because if it was their best play last turn, decent chance it's their best play this turn. I don't know what that card does. Lumen Class Frigate. Station up to 2, Anthem the team. Station to 12, Flying, Lifelink 3/5. Sure. They left 1 mana open. I don't know what that could be. I don't care. Unless you have Swords to Plowshares opponent, I think we got you. Oh, damn it. Oh, we got there anyway. I meant to, we had a loop. Yes, I did. I did have fun in the match. Thank you for asking. But we had a loop where we could bounce one creature at a time, bouncing Jill to hand, and then we played Jill, bounce Regent, then played Regent, bounce Jill, one of their things, and over again until eventually their board was empty. And only then would we cast Coil and Catch to draw cards and try to actually win with Omni in play. But they were super dead if I just executed that correctly. Anyway, we got a box. And that might mean that chat gets a box.
Woohoo! Can you win 2 boxes?
I mean, we just need to win 1 of 2 to get 2 boxes here. So, yeah, I think that seems pretty possible.
Let's go! Woo!
Ash played Life Gain. Ash Lizzle played Life Gain? That doesn't seem like her kind of deck, honestly. Oh, do I get to update the Twitch title to be boxes 1-1, or do I wait?
You can, but you should have to update it again. So yeah, you already locked in -6,000, or was the last one -6,000?
That was the last one, -6,000.
So you're already locking in -6,000, but plus 2 boxes.
Plus 1 box.
Oh, plus 1 box. Okay, but I believe in you. I believe in you. You have 2 shots.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep this and regret it. This is very close.
And on the last one, when you lost, you got no packs?
Yep. Basic swamp. Kind of bad Thoughtseize. I assume you take Serene. Well, do you? Do you take the card I can't cast? I think that's right. Omni's a pretty good draw. Is this like mono black, or is this just Dimir with a bad draw? Because if it's Dimir with a bad draw, then I want to play stock up here. By the time you find white, you already have Kona. But don't forget that I also need a way to tap Kona, and I drew this right after.
Oh, you're playing Kona. This whole time I kept thinking you were saying Coma, and I was like, what the fuck is running Coma?
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I think Coma would be pretty good, too. But, wow, that's a lot of land. Guess I want an untapped land in case I draw Kona. All these others are tapped as well. That's gross. All right. That's frightening. That's better. Okay. So what to do? We can consult, and if we find Kona, then we're in very good shape. The problem is if they just have a removal spell for Kona, then we probably lose. So I think the line is going to be play Jill, which means I'm going to play this Archive. We'll let that go. And I'll bounce the Slasher. Like they're kind of clogged up on black mana here. Also, there's the chance they had that 4-drop demon that just kills us when they attack with Slasher.
Isn't that thing triple black, though?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know Standard very well, but...
Ice, ice, baby.
Dun 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 dun.
I think it's just Consult. I guess the point is that we need to, like, which one is more likely to find Kona? Is it Vanilla Ice or is it Consult? And the answer is Consult.
You can do it!
Give it to me, baby. Uh-huh, uh-huh. I'm going to play Cavern. Name a beast. Just in case there's some weird reason to discard. Flipping this doesn't do anything. Okay. If I bounce Slasher and Surveil, RNGesus might find us Kona. Oh yeah, that's the line I took. Did not work. The hell is that? 4/4. If a creature hits someone, draw cards, lose a life. Void, make a 2/2. That card seems really bad. Hello. Yeah, this isn't quite deterministically winning, but we're well on our way. I guess. So what happens here? I take 4 and then I lose half my life. I go to 5, but I keep Jill in play. I like it. we're gonna win next turn. We're more likely to win still if we keep Jill around.
This is disgusting. What the hell are you playing? Ugh. This is nasty. You're a awful human.
Uh-huh. It's true.
This is why I play limited. This is bullshit.
Kona wasn't good in limited?
Yeah, they didn't drop omniscience.
You should really try it. This is like a truly wonderful feeling. This is why I left Jill in play, by the way. How many cards we have in deck? 32. We're fine.
What are you looking for?
Another dragon. And an overlord of the oil bilges. Oh, I have to discard a card. Sure. Whatever. There's another dragon. We have 21 cards. Bounce. Bounce.
How do you kill them now?
That's what the Overlord does. Just deals 4 damage to face, and then I can loop it over and over again until they die.
How have you not found one yet?
There's only one in the deck.
You better hurry.
Be okay.
Watching this is stressful.
We didn't somehow lose it already, right? Yeah. Playing this is stressful. There he is.
So now you just play him and then loop the dragons and bounce it in a dragon, it in a dragon.
Exactly. You got it.
You're awful, awful human. Two boxes.
All right.
All right, so you're down 9,600 gems, which is about $50, but you're up 32 packs in 2 boxes, which is $250 in boxes, because they're like what, 130 for a box these days?
So I've just about netted $200 ish in value, assuming you value boxes at that
130.
Which I don't. Like I think they're worth a little less than that, but
I value them at that.
I'm going to click the claim button. Actually, I'm going to take a screenshot. For the clout. 7-0, nice and clean.
You can put it in my Discord so you can save it. Okay, we'll keep farming.
What time is it?
4 o'clock. 4:40.
Okay. I've been working all day. I'm tired, and I do want to make a big push at this tomorrow. So I was thinking of stopping here and just going hard tomorrow.
Oh, you're playing tomorrow too. Wow.
I was considering that. I mean, that's why not?
It's basically free money.
It's free money as long as I'm playing reasonably well, and I feel very tired. And
well, I'm saying it's free money for me because you're gonna make the boxes, and then I'm gonna keep them.
Yeah, it's amazing what a loaded Magnum can do.
Or give them to stream.
Yep.
All right, well, say goodbye to people then.
All right. Well, I guess that's where we'll probably close off the YouTube recording. Thank you guys for sticking with me. All it took was a run where we dodged Vivi for basically the entire 7 games. But yeah, deck is sick. I love this deck. I'm going to play again tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully we'll record that too and upload it as well.